Konnichiwa, hello and welcome. This is Roy at Godzilla90, and today I will be reviewing the Hiya Toys Exquisite Basic Godzilla King of the Monsters Godzilla 2019 figure. And yeah, this is a really cool, really awesome figure, and I got a lot of positive things to say about it, so let's get things started. And now, here we have the Hiya Toys Exquisite Basic Godzilla King of the Monsters Godzilla 2019 and all of his super cool, awesome King of the Monsters atomic glory. As you can see, this is a well sculpted, well articulated, sharply detailed figure. As you can see all the finer detailings in this figure. Let me put my light on so we can get a closer look. We can see all those muscles and cracks and crevices in his chest. We can see all the lizard-like scales going all throughout his body. We can see all the little smaller ridges and crevices and sort of like vein like details going all throughout his dorsal spines, looking really cool, looking really awesome, really nice. Absolutely love it. Let's get a good look at his face here so we can get a good look at those very fearsome Godzilla eyes that he has. Maybe if I turn light off we can see it a little better, but we can see his gills that the legendary Godzilla has. We can see these gills a lot better on the neck of the Hiya Toys figures than what we can the SH Monster Arts, although they are present on the SH Monster Arts figures. And just look at the tail. Look how exquisitely designed this tail is. That's why they call these figures exquisite basics, because they're very exquisite and they have your basic articulation, I guess. But these figures are, when it comes to detail and design, even articulation, are far from being, just, simply basic. These figures are beyond basic. They're basically awesome, if you ask me. So yeah, just getting a closer look at detail now. Getting a look on the inside of that mouth. And yeah, the inside of the mouth on the 2019 is actually pink, and it's actually more of a darker color on the 2024 Godzilla X Kong pre-evolved figure. Even the skin colorization on this figure is more of a darker, wetter looking charcoal gray color than what it is on the Hiya Toys Exquisite Basic Godzilla X Kong, the New Empire 2024 pre-evolved Godzilla. So, I mean, there is distinct differences. Let me turn my light off again so we can see, and when we take a look at it, we can see some if we take a close look at, we can see sort of this tannish light green dry brushing going through all like the different cracks and crevices on his chest muscles, as well as his upper I would say shoulder neck area there. Just detail on these figures are really nice for what you get. Not lying. Although, unlike the SH Monster Arts version of this figure, it doesn't have a bicep swivel. But you know what? As far as what you're getting for the price with this figure, I am not complaining, and I can easily forgive it for that. As far as articulation, the head can look up about that much. We can look down about that much. We can look right about that much. We can look left about that much. And we can even turn the head independently from the neck if we want to, although it's a little tight. And just for the record, just to show you guys, if I can get it, give me a second. I got to get his pieces here because I want to demonstrate this. Yeah, I went pop poor Godzilla's head off, but oh well. Because I want to demonstrate this before I get more in depth with articulation for those of you who may be watching these Hiya Toys figure reviews for the first time, so you guys know what you're getting into when you get into the legendary Godzillas, while the 2019 design or whatever, you can see the head connects to the top of the barbell saw ball joint on the neck here, and the neck is made up of these 3 sleeve pieces. So that how the neck joint articulation works. And sometimes out of the box these are based, sometimes these are stuck with paint, and sometimes you gotta use a hairdryer to loosen them and get them apart. So I'm just letting you guys know, for the Hiya Toys Exquisite basic first time buyers, what to expect out of these figures. If I could get the head back on. Okay, okay, I got the head back on. Whew! I should have used a hairdryer. I should have paused it and used a hairdryer, but I didn't. But I got it back on. Yay me. Thank God. Now I sound like London Tipton. But anyway, yeah, head articulation is really good. Arm articulation, starting with the shoulders. The shoulders are youch. Look what the dorsal. Yeah, I was struggling to get that. Let me put my light on. This is why, if you got kids, these are probably not figures you should consider getting for kids. Because yeah, look what the dorsal spines did. My hands struggling to get that headpiece back on. But anyway, getting back to arm articulation, the shoulders are on ball joints, so we can move them all the way around a full 360, like so. We can bring them out about that much, and then back in again. We also have a elbow swivel, like so, both arms. We also have a hinge in that elbow, of course, so we can do some bendies, forwardsies, and backsies, like so. And we do have a ball joint swivel at the wrist, like so, in both hands. And we can move those hands forward and back as well for some claw swiping action. The waist is also articulated, so ouch, poking myself on the dorsal spines again. The getting back to the waist. The waist, we do have an ab crunch, trying not to make myself bleed with these dorsal spines here. So yeah, the waist can articulate forward, it can bend back straight, and we can rotate him all the way around like he's Mecha Godzilla, the Showa era Mecha Godzilla, and back again. Ugh. Although, as you can see, the waist articulation is pretty stiff, but it's doable. Although, yeah, I know what you're thinking. Dude, why don't you just heat this thing up with a hairdryer before you do the reviews? Yeah, I could do that, but yeah. I want to review these as they are without, using a hairdryer, because, 90% of the time they're not going to be, preheated. Well, with a hairdryer, when you're going to be posing them and taking them off your shelf and moving them, because that would mean you would be using a hairdryer every time you touch these things, and that would just be monotonous by that point. But anyway, getting down to leg articulation with the hips and shins and the knees and footsies here. hips are on a barbell style ball joint, so we can split them out about that much, not too much, but it's doable. And then back in again, we can rotate those legs all the way around a full 360, as you are witnessing, but very tight hipsy whipsies there. But well, the right hip, not the left, but yeah, those hips were pretty tight. Knees, we have a double hinge joint at the knees, very similar to the SH Monster Arts versions of these figures, which I do happen to have. The SH Monster Arts Godzilla 2019, by the way, which was my first ever SH Monster Arts. I've been collecting SH Monster Arts since 2019. Yeah, I didn't start collecting them when they first came out because I didn't have money for them, and this figure is obviously not a Monster Arts, it's a Hiya Toys, but I'm just talking about it. But speaking of Monster Arts, especially for the price ranges we're paying and for the, the quality dipping and everything, yeah, I'm just starting to personally feel a lot of serious dread with that brand, like seriously, like. But anyway, I'll talk more about that later. Getting more into depth with this figure here. Foot articulation is good. We can rotate those feet all the way around on a ball joint, a full 360, and rock them forward and back. Same is true with the other leg, or other foot. So we can spin that foot a full 360 and rock it forward and back slightly. And I also have to give Hiya Toys credit for a nice job, a nice sharply sculpted hand claws and toe claws there, looking really nice. And they're also painted up really well as well, looking really nice. And now getting into one of the best parts with these figures, the tail articulation. So as you can see, the tail is comprised of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 articulation segments. So we have a lot of movement in that tail. I would have to go out on a limb and say the tail articulation with the Hiya Toys Exquisite basic legendary Godzillas, especially this design moving forward, not the 2014, because that one still needs improvement. Hopefully they improve that on the Heat Ray version, because the tip of the tail on that one likes to pop off like nobody's business. But I'm talking about this one. The tail articulation on these are leagues better than what it is on the SH Monster Arts versions of these. I have, speaking of SH Monster Arts versions of this same Godzilla design, I have the regular, the normal SH Monster Arts Godzilla 2019. I have the Burning Godzilla 2019. I have the Godzilla vs. Kong design, and I also have the pre-evolved Godzilla X Kong, the new Empire design as well. And yeah, they all have QC issues with the tail with those figures. This one does not. Matter of fact, I can actually confirm that these figures right here, especially this one in particular, have no QC issues at all whatsoever. And that is an absolute positive. Like I said at the beginning of this video, I have, a lot of positive things to say about this figure, and quite honestly, I do. And yeah, that's a dead giveaway of what my final verdict's going to be. But we're gonna get there and see what my full honest opinion is. But anyway, getting back to tail articulation, like I said, tail articulation with these figures is solid. The tail is very playable, as you can see. I can move it this far this way. I can move it that far the opposite way. I can even put him in a swimming pose. Check this. Bring a set up like so. That's how smooth the tail articulation is on Ace. That, look. Try doing that with the SH Monster Arts versions of these. See how well you're going to do. And for those, needless to say, you're paying more. Although Hiya Toys Exquisite Basics is not without their flaws either, because yeah, the 2019 King Ghidorahs, I had to sadly clip the membranes on those, but yeah, they are releasing a new updated 2019 King Ghidorah that I'm probably going to see about getting, because they said they updated and improved a lot with that one, so I'll definitely check into that one. Plus, that one comes with a gravity beam, which unfortunately one of the gravity beams broke with my gravity beam 2019 Hiya Toys Exquisite Basic King Ghidorah, so that kind of sucks. So I mean, that would at least replace that broken gravity beam, plus give me a better 2019 King Ghidorah, well, like Hiya Toys Exquisite Basic one. But anyway, yeah, overall, as you can see, this figure is definitely really good. I feel as this is well built. It's well sculpted. These figures are this design for this figure for the Hiya Toys Exquisite Basic lines is absolute, hands down, 2 thumbs up solid. You know, this is like the best 50 to 60 bucks you can spend on a Godzilla figure. Not lying. Seriously. Like, you got good quality detail, you've got good quality articulation, playability is good, these figures stay together really well, unless unless you try to move the tail too much to kind of bend it too much, and then it'll just pop apart, but you could easily put it back together. But other than that, I have no complaints, you know. And one thing I have to say about Hiya Toys is, is very ironic, and I know it's kind of funny, but it's true, is, the Hiya Toys Exquisite Basics brand is not going to stomp your bank account down to the ground like Godzilla does the city of Tokyo, like the SH Monster Arts brand. So that's something to keep in mind. But anyway, with that said, it is now time to get into my final verdict, because I've been running my mouth. And now for my final verdict on the Hiya Toys Exquisite Basic Godzilla King of the Monsters Godzilla 2019 figure here. If I have to give this figure a final score based on detail, articulation, and playability, based on the things I just said, which needs no explanation any further by this point, I will give this figure a drum roll, please. And the final score is going to be obvious by what I just said, and you could go ahead and say it with me. A solid, well-deserved, knocked out of the park home run score of 5 out of 5 stars. Why? Might I repeat myself again? The overall detail of this figure, the overall paint apps design, the sculpt, movie accurate 100% to a solid capital T. You can't get any better than this. Articulation is really good. Only thing it doesn't have that the SH Monsters version has is biceps holes. But that's something that they added to the newer Hiya Toys Exquisite Basic figures. But what this figure does have over the SH Monsters version, better quality articulation in the tail, Much better joint tolerance and playability. Yeah. I don't have to worry about this figure, well, at least the tail popping off if I try to pose it and move it. Unlike the SH Monster Arts version of this figure, which still to this day has a bad case of the booty drop. Yeah, that's a lethal epidemic with those. Not gonna lie, but these overall solid, and I'm definitely looking forward to more legendary Godzillas and other Godzilla figures in the Hiya Toys Exquisite Basic line, especially that Hiya Toys Exquisite Basic Godzilla 1991. And also, I will also be, like I said, reviewing more figures on the channel, not just from the Godzilla franchise. And I'm also thinking about, well, I'm actually not thinking, I'm actually strongly considering pulling the trigger on some Super 7 Ultimate stuff that involves both Godzilla and Power Rangers. So yeah. I'm going to be bringing more Power Rangers to this channel, as well as some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles stuff. And, you know, I've been eyeing some other cool figures as well from other franchises that I think might resonate with some people. Although I know what you're going to say, but, you know, isn't this like mainly a Godzilla channel? Mostly, but I mean, the focus is most like action figures. You know, I know Godzilla is like a main franchise. It's like a big appeal to a lot of you guys, and you know, and that's not going anywhere. And I've stated that multiple times. The big G is not going anywhere on the channel. You can always expect to see new Godzilla figures get unboxed and reviewed on this channel. I got a lot of figure reviews I need to film all over again. This one included is one of them I'm filming all over again. So yeah, but yeah, my opinions on this one is absolutely correct. I don't think I'm missing the mark at all with this one. I think, and I've stated this, and I know I commented to one of you that yeah, I think I kind of gave some of the SH Monster Arts figures a little bit too high of a score, so I might have to kind of redo those. Although I still really like those, and I still appreciate the SH Monster Arts brand, but for the pricing for what you're getting, especially for what we're getting, I feel like it's just way too much. They need better quality control, and if they are to compete with Hiya Toys Exquisite Basic figures outside of Japan, because for some reason Hiya Toys Exquisite Basic figures, as far as what I hear, cannot be legally sold in Japan for whatever reason. But if SH Monster Arts is to compete with Hiya Toys Exquisite Basic figures outside of Japan, mark my word, they are seriously going to have to lower their prices, because, you know, especially if Hiya Toys Exquisite Basics, you know, get the legal green light to start being released in Japan. Yeah, if Monster Arts doesn't start lowering their prices, that brand is going to end up going bye-bye, because a lot of fans, a lot of avid collectors, including myself included, are just getting sick and tired of paying these overly expensive prices just to have a monotonous amount of quality control issues with these figures out of the box, and having to loosen up the joints and doing all of that crazy stuff just to correct factory errors. I don't think we should be dealing with that. But anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this review, definitely like it, subscribe if you haven't already. And I know I already admitted this. I know I'm running my mouth a lot, and I know you're getting ready for me to wrap this up. So I will. And as always, love you all. Stay safe. God bless, and peace out.